Huge protests have broken out in Moldova. This is primarily because of two main reasons. First, the cost of living has gone through the roof. Inflation is insane. Second, they want the pro-West government to go and Russia to come. This is a very interesting developing story. Stay tuned. Hi and welcome, you're watching Outright. We tell you the right side of the story. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for such outright videos. It is called a coup only when Russia does it. It is called the revival of democracy when NATO or US does it. So, the revival of democracy took place in Moldova last week when the pro-EU government of Prime Minister Dorin Recean was installed. Former PM Natalia Gavrilița was told to put down her papers, apparently because her government was not in favor of joining NATO. So, the new Prime Minister took on the job and the first thing he did was to poke the Russian bear in the eye. He said, "The Russian troops in Transnistria must be expelled." For those who don't know, Transnistria is a breakaway region within Moldova. Mostly pro-Russia and Russian-speaking people live here. Russia supports them financially and also provides them with military support. So, by vowing to expel Russia from Transnistria, the Moldovan PM called for a direct war against the Kremlin. But you don't bite the hand that feeds you. Russian gas is the backbone of the Moldovan economy. Since gaining independence in 1992, Moldova has been almost completely reliant on electricity generated from Russian gas. Moldova generated about 10% of its electricity needs domestically, while 20% was imported from Ukraine, and the remaining 70% was produced by the MGRES power plant in Transnistria. Moldova's current energy crisis began in October last year when Russia cut gas exports to Moldova by 30%. The effect of this cut was felt immediately. Moldova experienced a 200% increase in electricity prices and 34% inflation. Today, an average Moldovan is spending up to 75% of their income on energy. And that tells you why these protests are happening in the country right now. The protesters are calling on the country's pro-EU president, Maia Sandu, to resign. People have formed a new group called Movement for the People to take down the government. This movement is backed by the country's pro-Russia SOR party. So, as per a report by BBC, many protesters were chanting, "Yes, let them come. We want them to come here. We want to be part of Russia." By them, they meant Russian people or Russian government. The leaders of the pro-Russia SOR party also say they want to forge strong ties with Russia. Marina Tober, SOR's general secretary, said in a statement to BBC, "If Russia wanted to take Moldova, they would do it in half a day. In my personal opinion, with Russia, we would be much better off than we are now." And instead of correcting her mistakes or at least acknowledging them, the pro-EU president of the country is conveniently blaming Russia for all of the country's problems. Energy prices are high, blame Russia. People are protesting, blame Russia. People are starving, blame Russia. That is exactly what is happening now. Listen to what Moldovan President Maia Sandu has to say about these protests.
At the same time, Russia is already waging a hybrid war against Moldova, and we have many examples. In the fall, they tried to use the energy crisis, hoping that we will not be able to pay for the very high prices for gas and electricity. When they saw that the government managed to find the money, Gazprom cut gas supply by 60%, hoping that we will not find alternative sources and that the paid protests will overthrow the legally elected government. Now we've learned about a new plan that they might try to bring people from outside the country to organize these violent protests and then to force the authorities into negotiations on snap parliamentary elections.
Simply put, she is saying she has done a very good job at managing the crises in her country. It is Russia who is creating problems. Earlier, it was Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky to make the same statement. The sorry state of Moldova is up for everyone to see. The way the country's government is reacting is only going to fuel the pro-Russia sentiments in the country. And what do you think is going to happen? Should not we already say Moldova has fallen to Russia?